I never thought I'd be sitting here, questioning everything about my marriage with Austin. It used to be perfect. At least, that's what I believed. "You're beautiful," he'd say every single day, pulling me close like I was the only woman in the world. "I'm so lucky to have you." Honestly, hearing that made me feel like I was floating. "Hey baby, come here," Austin would call from the kitchen, smacking my butt when I walked past. I'd laugh, teasing him back. "You're impossible." And he'd grin like a kid who just got away with something, 3 years in, and he still couldn't keep his hands off me. Sarah used to roll her eyes, saying, "Must be nice to have a man who still acts like he's dating you." I'd just smirk, feeling smug. Yeah, I had it good. But lately, it's been different. Work's been a nightmare, endless deadlines, impossible demands. My mum's health isn't great either. Some days, I barely have the energy to get out of bed. And Austin, he's still the same, except now his attention feels suffocating. The other night, I was wiped out, just wanting to relax. He came over, hands already roaming, and I just froze. "Austin, can we—" "Not tonight," I said, trying to be gentle. But he looked confused, like I'd asked him to stop breathing. "You sure?" "You looked good all day," he said, eyes shining with that same hunger. It used to make me feel desired. Now, it makes me tense. "I'm just tired," I said. "I need a break from all this." I swallowed hard, hoping he'd get it. He didn't. "Why can't you just let me love you?" His voice was soft but pleading. "I know you love me," I said, but my heart wasn't in it. "I just need something different." Austin shook his head, a frown creasing his forehead. "What do you want then?" "Normal affection," I said, suddenly frustrated. "Not every hug turning into this thing. Can't you just hold me?" "Without wanting more?" He looked hurt. "That's how I show love." "Sometimes," I whispered, looking away. "Sometimes it's too much." He sighed. "I don't want to pressure you. I just can't help how I feel." And that's when I started to feel the resentment building. Because I did love him, but I needed space. Not this constant reminder of desire. I wanted comfort, not pressure. I tried to tell Sarah once. "It's like every touch has strings attached. I can't relax around him." She gave me that look. "But isn't it flattering? Most women wish their husbands were like that." I nodded, but inside I was torn. I missed the way things used to feel. But now his touch made me anxious. Austin never pushed me. He always backed off if I said no. But even his gentle kisses left me feeling trapped, like my body was a trigger for him. And I was the prisoner. The truth. I didn't know how to handle it. Part of me felt guilty for wanting less. Part of me was angry that he couldn't just be normal sometimes. One night, after a long day, I told him, "I feel like you can't touch me without wanting more." He blinked. "Is that a bad thing?" I shook my head, but the words caught in my throat. "Sometimes it is." His smile faded. "I'm sorry, You don't have to apologize," I said quickly. I need a break." He nodded, eyes searching mine. "Okay," but the silence that followed was heavier than any argument. Lying in bed that night, I wondered if this was what love had become for us. Not the sweet obsession I once craved, but a weight dragging me down. I caught myself thinking, maybe I was the problem. Maybe I was too tired, too overwhelmed to give him what he wanted. Or maybe what we had wasn't enough anymore. But I didn't say any of that. Instead, I closed my eyes, wishing I could find the answers before everything fell apart. "You're cold," Austin said as he wrapped his arms around me one evening while we watched TV. His breath was warm on my neck, but I pulled away just enough to not feel his body pressing against mine. "I'm fine," I muttered, feeling my skin crawl a little. He didn't say anything for a moment, just rested his head on my shoulder, but then his hand moved, sliding down to squeeze my waist. I tensed. "Austin, please," I whispered. He looked up at me, eyes soft but confused. "What's wrong? I'm just trying to be close." I sighed, my frustration bubbling up. "You don't get it. Sometimes I just want a hug without it turning into this." He blinked. "This, you know," I said, searching for the words. "When you touch me, and you get like that." Austin's face fell. "I can't help it." "I'm not asking you to help it," I said quickly. "I'm just saying, I don't want to feel like every hug is some kind of invitation." He pulled back, hurt flashing in his eyes. "So, what am I supposed to do? Just stop touching you?" "No. I want to feel loved, not pressured." I rubbed my forehead. "Can't you just hold me, without your body reacting like that?" Austin looked like I'd slapped him. "That's how I love you." I shook my head. "No, it's not. Not all the time." The room went quiet except for the TV murmuring in the background. I wished I could explain better, but the words wouldn't come out. Later that night, he tried again. He sat next to me on the couch and reached for my hand. "I'm sorry if I make you uncomfortable," he said softly. "It's not that you make me uncomfortable," I told him. "It's more like I can't relax around you anymore. Like I'm a trigger." Austin's brows knitted together. "You're my wife. Of course I want you." "I know," I said. "But sometimes I want to just be your wife, not your desire." He didn't respond. I looked at his face, open, vulnerable, and felt a pang of guilt. But then, days passed, and nothing changed. His touches still carried that weight. His eyes still sparkled with want every time he looked at me. And every time, I felt more distant. One afternoon, after a long day at work, I was just about to sit down when Austin appeared behind me. "You're home," he said, voice light. "Yeah," I replied, trying to sound normal. He reached for my shoulder, tracing gentle circles. I flinched and pulled away. "Austin, please," I said firmly. "Why?" His voice cracked. "What did I do?" "You don't understand," I said, fighting tears. "I just can't deal with it all the time." He sighed deeply. "I just want to be close to you." "I know," I said, voice breaking. "But it feels like you can't just be close without it meaning something else." Austin's eyes welled up. "I'm not trying to hurt you." "I don't think you are," I whispered. "But sometimes I wonder if you even see me for who I am, and not just that." "What do you mean?" he asked, confused. I swallowed hard. "I mean, I feel like my body is this thing you want, but you don't really want me." Austin looked stunned. "That's not true. Then why can't you just hug me without your body betraying you?" He was silent. I could see the pain creeping across his face, the hurt I'd caused. Later that night, I tried to talk again. "Austin, I didn't mean to hurt you." "You did," he said simply. I was frustrated. "I'm sorry." He looked away, arms crossed. "I just want us to be okay," I said. He sighed. "I want that too, but I don't know how to change." Days later, the tension grew. "Why won't you just tell me what you want?" Austin asked one morning. "I thought you'd know," I said, voice cold. "Know what? I'm trying here." "No, you're not." He frowned. "That's not fair." "I'm tired," I admitted. "Tired of feeling like I'm walking on eggshells." Austin stared at me, the love in his eyes fading into confusion. "You're shutting me out." "I'm not," I snapped. "I'm protecting myself." He looked defeated. "I don't want to lose you," he said quietly. "Then don't make everything about sex," I shot back. "Can you do that for me?" He closed his eyes. "I'll try," but the tries felt empty, forced. One night the pressure snapped. Austin pulled me close as I was washing dishes. His hands slid down my arms, his lips brushing my neck. I spun around. Stop! You always sexualize me. It's disgusting. The words hit the air like a slap. Austin stepped back, stunned. Disgusting, he whispered. Yes, I said, voice shaking. I can't even get a normal hug without you getting turned on. His face fell. I'm sorry. No, you don't get it, I said, tears spilling over. It's exhausting. You can't just touch me without it being about sex. He looked hurt, but he nodded. I'll respect your wishes. And just like that, everything changed. The warmth vanished, the affection disappeared. I felt a cold void growing between us. I wanted to take back my words. I wanted to explain. But I was too angry, too tired. That night, I lay awake, wondering if I'd broken the only thing that made me feel wanted. Austin, I called as he passed by the living room, barely glancing my way. He didn't answer. I stared after him, feeling like I didn't recognize the man in my own home anymore. Later, that evening, I sat on the couch, hugging a pillow. The silence between us was deafening. Finally, I broke it. Why won't you touch me anymore? He looked up, his face guarded. You said you didn't want me to. I didn't mean, not like this, I admitted. I just wanted less. Pressure, not no affection at all. Austin's jaw tightened. You called my love disgusting. I know, I whispered. And I'm sorry, but nothing. He cut me off. You made it clear. I felt a lump form in my throat. I miss how things used to be. He nodded without speaking. Days passed with no hugs, no kisses, no playful touches. The house felt cold, empty. One afternoon, my phone buzzed. Sarah was calling. Hey, I answered hesitantly. Girl, you okay? Everyone's noticed Austin's gone ghost on you. I'm fine, I lied. Just tired. Girl, come on. You don't have to pretend with me, I sighed. It's complicated, Sarah's voice softened. Do you think maybe you pushed him too far? What do you mean? You called him disgusting. That's harsh, Kendra. I felt defensive. I was overwhelmed. But now he's like a stranger. I swallowed hard. I don't know what to do. Maybe talk to him? I tried. He won't open up. Sounds like he's hurt. I know. After the call, I paced the room, replaying our fights in my head. Was I really the villain here, or was I just tired of being the only one fighting for space? Later, Austin came home and didn't greet me. Instead, he went straight to the bedroom. I called after him, but he didn't answer. That night, I lay awake, feeling the weight of our distance. I wanted to apologize, but pride held me back. The next morning, Lisa stopped by unexpectedly. She looked concerned. Kendra, you okay? Yeah, I forced a smile. Lisa shook her head. Austin's barely around. I heard from a friend he's been distant for months. I didn't know it was this bad. Maybe you should try listening to him. I'm scared, I admitted. I don't want to lose him, Lisa nodded. You might already be losing him. The words stung. That afternoon, Austin sat across from me at dinner, silent. I tried to start a conversation. How was your day? Fine. That was it. I miss you, I blurted. He looked up, eyes tired. I miss you too. Then he added softly, but I don't know how to fix this. I don't either. Tears pricked my eyes. Maybe we need help, I said. Austin nodded slowly. Maybe. That night, I stared at our empty bed, feeling more alone than ever. Austin, I said one evening, stepping out of the bedroom wearing his favorite dress, the one I knew made him smile. He looked up from the couch, eyes polite but distant. You look nice. That's it? I asked, forcing a smile. No spark? No. Anything? He shifted uncomfortably. I'm tired, Kendra. I'm trying, I said, voice cracking, trying to bring us back. He looked away. I know. The next night, I cooked his favorite meal. The kitchen smelled like garlic and rosemary. Wow, this smells amazing, Austin said, trying to smile. Thank you, I said, hoping for more. He ate quietly, no compliments, no teasing like before. After dinner, I sat close to him on the couch. Want to watch a movie? I asked. He nodded, but kept his distance. I reached for his hand. He let me hold it, but his fingers didn't intertwine with mine. Do you want to cuddle? I asked softly. Austin hesitated. I'm not sure. Why not? He sighed. Because I'm afraid. Afraid of what? Of getting too close and disappointing you. I felt my chest tighten. Why would you disappoint me? Because every time I show desire, you get uncomfortable. That's not fair. It's how I feel. I pulled back, frustrated. Then why even try? He looked hurt. Because I love you. But it doesn't feel like it. Austin's voice was barely a whisper. I don't know how to love you the way you want. I shook my head. I just want to feel wanted. You called my love disgusting. I was overwhelmed. That word broke me. I looked away, tears threatening to fall. Days later, I dressed up again, hoping to catch his attention. Hey, I said, twirling in front of him. He glanced up. You look beautiful. But there was no fire in his eyes. I reached out. He didn't pull away, but didn't lean in either. I miss us, I whispered. Austin swallowed hard. Me too. I leaned closer, trying to ignite something. He pulled back. I'm sorry. Sorry for what? For not being who you need. I need you, Austin. I'm here, just not the way you want. I clenched my fists. You're shutting me out. He looked at me, pain etched on his face. I'm protecting myself. The more I pushed, the more he retreated. One night I asked, why won't you fight for us? I am fighting, he said quietly. But you're already gone. Gone? I echoed, disbelief. Not physically, but emotionally. I swallowed my pride. Maybe I pushed too hard. Maybe, he replied. But I can't fix this alone. I don't want to lose you. You already did. I sat there, words cutting deeper than I expected. Weeks passed with dinners, eaten in silence, kisses avoided, and touches carefully measured. I blamed him for shutting down, but deep down, I knew my words had poisoned us. One night, I confronted him. Why can't we just be like before? Because before, I hid my pain. What changed? You, I gasped. Me? You made me feel ashamed of my love. No, I whispered, tears streaming. I didn't mean it like that. But you did. He stood and walked away. Was left alone, realizing the bitter truth. I had called his love disgusting, and now all I had was this cold, empty space where passion used to live. Are you sure you don't want me to come with you? I asked Austin as he packed his suitcase. He shook his head, zipping it up. It's just a work trip, Kendra. I'll be back in a few days. I forced a smile. Okay, just be safe. He nodded and kissed my forehead. I will. The house felt emptier as he left. Days passed, and the silence grew louder. Then, Sarah called. Hey, you, she said, voice low. Have you heard anything from Austin lately? I talked to him yesterday, I replied. Why? She hesitated. Well, some things came up at work. Heard he's been different. Different how? Sarah sighed. There's this woman from his therapy group. My heart skipped. Therapy group? Yeah. She gets him, makes him feel appreciated. I felt my stomach twist. Who is she? No idea, Sarah said. But I thought you should know. I hung up and stared at my phone, mind racing. The next day, Lisa stopped by. You look tired, she said. Thanks, I muttered. Lisa glanced at my hands. Something going on with Austin? I don't know, I admitted. He's been distant. Maybe it's that woman, Lisa said softly. I heard they've been spending time together. What? No, he wouldn't. Lisa shook her head. I'm just saying, you might want to pay attention. I felt a bitter twist in my chest. Later, I found myself scrolling through social media, searching for clues. I saw pictures of Austin smiling, really smiling, with a woman I didn't recognize. They looked close, comfortable. Jealousy burned hot. That night Austin came home late, I asked, how was the trip? Tiring, he said, avoiding my eyes. Did you see her? The woman from the group, he hesitated. We talked. Just talked? Yes. More than that? No, but I could see the distance in his voice. Days passed and every conversation felt like walking on glass. I don't like this, I confessed one night. You're shutting me out. I'm not, he said quietly. I'm trying to figure things out. Without me? He looked away. It's complicated. Tell me. He sighed. She understands me. And what about me? Austin's silence was answer enough. I felt the walls closing in. I tried to push the fear aside, but every time I saw them together in my mind, the ache grew. I wondered if I had lost him already. Austin, please don't say that, I whispered, clutching the edge of the kitchen counter as he stood across from me. He looked tired, worn down, and his eyes held a sadness I hadn't seen before. Kendra, I've thought about this a lot. I don't think we're sexually compatible anymore. My heart stopped. What do you mean? We can work through this. He shook his head slowly. It's not just about sex. It's about feeling wanted, feeling desired. You made me feel like my desire was disgusting. Tears blurred my vision. I never meant to hurt you, but you did. His voice cracked. You called my love disgusting. How do you think that made me feel? I was stressed, overwhelmed. I didn't know how else to say it. That's the problem, Kendra. You didn't say it. You threw it at me like a weapon. I swallowed. Hard. So this is why you've been distant, he nodded. I wasn't distant because I didn't love you. I was protecting myself. I bit my lip, fighting the lump in my throat. But what about the woman from your therapy group? Was that cheating? No, he said quietly. It wasn't about her. It was about finding someone who didn't make me feel ashamed for wanting them. I'm so sorry, Austin. I felt the weight of my selfishness crushing me. I never wanted to make you feel that way. He looked away. I know you say that, but it's been months, Kendra. Months of feeling unwanted, undesired, and now... I don't know if we can fix this. Please, don't give up on us, I begged. I don't want to give up, he said, eyes searching mine. But I need to be with someone who appreciates being desired. I sank to the floor, the reality crashing down. I'm so sorry. Austin knelt beside me, voice soft but firm. I've loved you for years, Kendra, but love isn't enough when respect and desire are gone. I broke down, sobbing. I was so blind. He reached out but hesitated. I don't want to hurt you. I'm already hurting, I whispered. He stood slowly. I think we need to consider separation. No, I cried. Please. But the finality in his voice told me everything I needed to know. I had lost him. Not to another woman, but to my own mistakes. The silence in the house is deafening now. Austin's side of the bed is empty, his clothes gone. I can still smell his cologne on the pillow, but it only reminds me of what I've lost. Why did you leave without saying goodbye? I whisper to the empty room. My phone buzzes. Another message from a friend. I open it reluctantly. Kendra, I heard about Austin. Are you okay? I stare at the screen, feeling like everyone knows but me. At dinner, Sarah brings it up again. People are talking, she says gently. You're the villain here. What do you mean? I ask, heart pounding. You called him disgusting. Now he's moved on. Her words hit me like a slap. I want to scream, to defend myself, but I'm too tired. Later, I scroll through social media. Austin's photos with her, the woman from therapy, are everywhere. He looks happy, confident, alive. I want that for myself. But all I feel is broken. I dial Lisa's number. "Hey," she answers. "You okay?" "Not really," I admit. "I feel like I'm losing everything." "You are," she says softly. I hang up and sink onto the couch, tears spilling. "How did it get this bad?" I whisper. I replay every argument, every harsh word. I wanted him to want me again, but I pushed him away. Now, I'm alone with my regrets. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know if I even deserve. I stood outside Austin's new apartment, heart pounding, clutching a letter in my hand. "Please, just one chance," I whispered to myself. I rang the doorbell, my fingers trembling. When he opened, his face was calm but distant. "Kendra," he said quietly. "I came to say I'm sorry," I blurted out. "I know I hurt you. I want to change. Please, can we try again?" He looked down, then back at me. "You had 6 months to change." I was angry, confused. "You were angry. I was waiting for you to fight for us." "I did, in my way," I said, voice breaking. "You got angry that I wasn't pursuing you anymore," he said, shaking. His head. "You never really apologized. You just wanted the consequences to go away." "I'm sorry," I whispered, tears falling. "I love you." Austin sighed, stepping aside. "I'm with someone who makes me feel wanted, Kendra. I can't go back to feeling ashamed for desiring the person I love." I felt the weight of those words crushing me. Love can't be forced or controlled. I'm responsible for this downfall. He closed the door softly behind him, leaving me standing alone, facing the truth and the long road ahead. "I don't know where to start," I told Dr. Evans, sinking into the chair across from her. She smiled kindly. "Start wherever feels right." I took a deep breath. I thought love was about control, about wanting to be wanted. She nodded. "It's complicated. Love isn't possession." Over weeks I met with her, slowly unraveling my pain. I learned to see desire not as obligation, but as connection. One afternoon Sarah called. "How are you?" "Better," I said. "Talking to someone helped." She smiled through the phone. "Good. You deserve peace." I reconnected with family, found strength in their support. I thought about Austin, not with bitterness, but with understanding. I'm not trying to win him back anymore. I'm trying to win myself. I scrolled through my phone, pausing at a photo of Austin smiling with his new girlfriend. They looked happy, really happy. A pang hit me, sharp but distant. I whispered to myself, "He deserves that," Sarah called, breaking the silence. "How are you holding up?" "Better," I said. "It's strange, but I'm grateful. I learned a lot." "Good. Growth isn't easy." I nodded, though she couldn't see it. "Some love stories don't end with forever. They end with lessons." "Exactly," I smiled, feeling a lightness I hadn't felt in months. "I want to love again," I said, "but wiser, kinder, more understanding." "You will," Sarah promised. I looked out the window, hope stirring. I'm free now, not from him, but from the pain, and maybe, just maybe, ready for a new beginning.